What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have an exciting unboxing to dig into for you. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I'd love to have you. And hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it, everyone. It helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. And let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you guys. And please hit that thumbs up, leave comments. Let's get this video pushed out there. And the main reason I say that is because we have a brand new design coming in from Knife Standards. This is in its prototype phase. It is going to be finished up very soon. So let's get this pushed out there so more people can have more eyes on this thing. The RR3 here. Beautiful looking knife. And here is some of the social media and so on for Knife Standards. I will also link his website down below. He does have some other knives available right now currently. I believe the RR Station is available right now. We are also going to be looking at Bestech as the OEM for this knife, that's a fantastic OEM in my opinion. They do a phenomenal job. We're looking at a full titanium body for this pocket knife here, and we are looking at steel liners. They are going to be recessed there. We do have internal milling for some weight relief, and this knife is not heavy at all. We'll check it on the scale, but this knife is not heavy whatsoever. We have great access there to that liner with a nice big chamfer on there. Going to be very easy to get to, very easy to disengage. Open construction there. We do have one standoff. I believe there is a wired pocket clip on here now, but I believe that is going to ultimately be switched to a milled clip. Now, I don't know a milled tie clip. I don't know if he's going to also include a wire clip as well. So if you want to pick which one, or if it's strictly going to be coming with the milled clip. But the cool thing is, either which way, it's going to be reversible. So our left-handed brothers and sisters out there can switch the pocket clip over if they choose to. We are looking at a carbon fiber inlay on this particular version, but there will be several other versions available as well. The retail price of this knife is going to be at $350. On this particular model, we're looking at a beautiful belt satin finished drop point blade, and for the cherry on top, we are looking at Vanex Super Clean, which, if you are not familiar, Vanex combined with titanium and the right steel liners, going to make this knife pretty much completely rust proof, so you don't have to worry about corrosion and issues like that, especially if you live in an area where that's a concern. This is the ultimate combination right here, and that's one thing you won't have to worry about with this knife. Now, if there are other blade finishes, I'm not 100% sure if there'll be maybe a stonewash version as well, and I just don't know the all the ins and outs, but I do know this is a fantastic looking and feeling knife. He definitely has his own aesthetic with the style of this handle and that square pivot. He definitely has his own unique look, which I really appreciate. It doesn't look like every other knife, that common theme that we always see. This has a very different aesthetic. We are looking at dual thumb studs and a front flipper for the deployment. One of the changes he said going into the production or the final production of this knife is that he was going to increase the detent strength, and I have to say it's pretty good. It's good, but I can see what he's saying. Due to that front flipper, to increase it a little bit, it's going to make the opening action of this knife all that more satisfying, but it is very easy to thumb and reverse flick this thing out. You'll be able to do the old thumb rollover, the index rollover, and we should be able to, yep, do the reach around. The jimping is nicely done. It's fairly aggressive. It's not overly aggressive, but it's aggressive to the point where it works. It works really well, and that's how we want to see it right there. Very, very well done. But yeah, I can see what he's saying by increasing that strength a little bit, but it's ultimately going to be very smooth internally there. We are looking at ceramic ball bearings and a ceramic detent ball for internals, which is great. Yeah, this is a really cool looking knife, and I was thinking to myself, I just saw it here on the sheet, but I was thinking to myself, this must be the smallest design that he's done. I haven't handled the other two, the Standard and the Station, but based off video that I have seen of the other two, I had kind of an idea of how big those knives were. And this one is definitely the smallest one, and he says that. We'll take some spec checks here in a second, but it's going to carry nice and deep. That's going to be right around 1/8 of an inch poking out of the pocket, which will be nice, so that way you have a little bit to grab onto to pull this out of the pocket. And like we said, it is going to be reversible. Now let's go ahead and we'll do a little spec check on this thing. 3 inches is going to be the cutting edge for this knife, right at 3 inches. And we are looking at 3 5/16 for total edge there, and just shy of 7.5 inches, or right at 7.5 inches, I should say. So this is going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouse when it comes to size. Some people don't like that larger, like 8-inch plus knife, and some people don't like to be, you know, too far below like 6.5, you know, too small. A lot of people really like that 7 to 7.5, and I have to say I've come around on that size, like a 3.25 inch blade. I've come around on it. I didn't used to be the biggest fan of that size. I like a little bit larger, like 3.5 inch blade to like 3.75, which I believe that's where the Station and Standard are, I believe. But this is going to be in much more people's preferred size. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and get a weight check on this thing. It can't be a whole lot more than like 4 ounces, I'm going to say. Yeah, like 4.2, 4.3, which is impressive for a titanium steel liner lock. It has a good, it feels substantial because you have that titanium body. It feels sturdy. Like, it doesn't feel like you're going to break this knife or anything like that, like an FRN handle may feel like, or a G10, as much as they may feel like that. But you're getting all that sturdiness of titanium and steel, and you're staying fairly lightweight. I would say that 4 to 4.5. It's not like ultra lightweight, but I would say that's pretty lightweight. Probably about average, I would say, which is going to be right up a lot of people's alleys. Like I said, action, nice and smooth, very clean, controlled, buttery action. For the thumb flick, it's nice and solid, and the reverse flick, it's nice and solid. And I like the way that front flipper is done as well. Ergonomically, this is going to be very comfortable in that standard grip. You'll be able to choke up behind that edge for a ton of control. Love being able to control that blade that close, being able to get up on that tip for more precise cuts. That is going to be great as well. I don't know how long I'm going to have this knife, so why don't we do a couple of comparisons just so you can kind of see where this knife lies. It's going to be right in between the Para 3 and PM2 there, definitely closer to that Para 3 size, we'll go ahead and switch it out for the Bug Out and the Super Freak here. And I would say definitely more in line with that Bug Out size. Definitely going to be a little bit larger. I think we'll see that it probably is in line more with the Deca here, if not identical to the Deca in size. And yeah, very, very close, which means it should be very similar to the 20.5, maybe just a little bit smaller. Blade length is the same, you just have a little bit more handle on the 20.5. So ultimately you're looking at something very similar to the Deca in its size, which the Deca, the Bug Out, they're some of the most sold knives probably ever, and that's due to their size and being lighter weight. But if you want something a little bit more flashier, a little bit more heavy duty feeling in hand, that's when you bump up to titanium. But the way they're able to mill these out, make them lighter weight, that's a huge deal. And this feels very easy to maneuver with and wield around. Feels very good. Excellent, excellent job on this knife. Like I said, I will link his website down below. That way you can head over there and check out the other knives he has to offer. Would love to check out some of his other designs because they look equally just as good. But keep your eyes peeled because these will be dropping very, very soon on his website. And if you need something now from him, I recommend going and picking up one of the RR stations. We're talking a full-size beast of a knife and going to be very well done as well. Do me a huge favor though, guys. Hit that thumbs up, leave comments, share this video. Let's get this video out there so we can help Knife Standards get this knife pushed out there and get more eyes on this thing. A very good story behind him and his company. I won't dive too much into it, but all his knives are dedicated to his dad, his father. That's what the RR stands for. You know, the RR station, the standard, the RR3, those are all dedicated to his dad. His dad sadly passed away, and he always wanted to become a designer, or that's what he ultimately wanted to do. And his dad, basically, he wanted him to do that as well. I can't think of the word, but he was all for it. He wanted to help his son and, give him that push. Well, sadly, his dad passed away, and his dad never got to see his son become a designer. But I have to say, based on these designs and based on just what I know about the guy behind Knife Standards, he's become a good dude, and I think his dad would be very proud of what he's accomplished in a short amount of time, and he'd be very proud because these designs are just phenomenal. They're different, they're functional, they're utilitarian, just very well done. He does have that a more descriptive story on his website. Highly recommend going and reading that as well. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. That way you can get notified anytime I release any new videos. I'm going to put up a couple of new ones. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again to Knife Standards as well. Hope you all have a great day. Love y'all, and I will catch all of you on the next one.